My obsessions. Everyone has obsessions. You know, people are obsessed with Justin Bieber. People are obsessed with their favorite race car groups. Everyone has obsessions. But in the autistic world, flipping hell, obsessions are a living. It's a lifestyle. We live by our obsessions. They can go on for years. They can be a lifelong, or they can be a matter of seconds or a matter of minutes. It really depends. We're gonna get into that. I'm gonna go through some of my obsessions that have stayed, some that have died down, and I'm just gonna, I honestly don't know why I have obsessions with them. So let's start with my obsession that apparently came straight from birth, because apparently I didn't cry that much when I was born. No, I came out of the womb and looked straight at the lights. People on the spectrum struggle with bright lights and they can be really sensitive, and I do, but at the same time I love it. I became obsessed when I started doing shows, and they have obviously the stage lights and all the beautiful colors and all the beams and all the ow, I just got tinnitus in my ear. Oh, I still do get obsessed with the stage lighting, and if you were to ask any of the crew, they'll know how much I love stage lighting. So on tour, I'd go to production and I'd just ask so many questions to the lighting guy, and apparently they liked it. I don't know how they did. They let me control the lights one time. I'm pretty sure I designed a lighting piece once for one of the tours. I'm very proud of that. I love lights. I can't explain why. I just love lighting and all stuff like that. Video editing. Okay, this one's more of a, it's really gratifying to finish a project in editing. I wouldn't say it's an obsession I strive for, but I'm trying to, because it's helpful. It's helped me a lot. Well, not with just doing YouTube. I help with 20DV, Diversity's online dance tutorials, and I seem to have an alright knack, and I do enjoy it. I hate the getting into it, but once I'm in, I'm locked, loaded. Video editing's not really an obsession that's as bad as lighting, but it is an obsession, I guess, because I'm still doing it and I still like to do it. YouTube. Now, a lot of people watch YouTube, and I know you watch YouTube a lot. Yeah, do you? But do you watch it as much as I do? Probably not, because I think I've been watching YouTube for like 7 years, a bit more than that, and it's an everyday thing. Like today I have a YouTube video right here. I'm always collecting information. I think it's the randomness of YouTube, and I've kind of figured out the algorithm of its randomness, so I just continue to press the refresh button and just watch all videos I can. I get obsessed with YouTube channels and I watch all their YouTube channel videos and stuff like that. But just in case you didn't believe me, I'm gonna get up my phone here and show you my notifications. Oh, it's just passed. Can you see that? That's 7,000 notifications on YouTube. That's notifying me when a video's out. But the fact I'm subscribed to 7,000 people, I don't think I am, but I'm subscribed to a lot of people, just in case I ever want to go back to their channel. And I usually never do, but there's some that I always go back to and I always stick with. Yeah, YouTube might be my biggest obsession, and it's been going on for a while. Don't imagine it'll stop anytime soon. So I thought, instead of watching it, I should just make videos and post on it. Since I seem to watch it every day, I should know how YouTube works. So I thought, you know, I'll post. So here we are. I love music. Oh, we know this from my other videos. And if I haven't posted them yet, ta-da! I love music. The sensory thing from it. I connect with the music. It sounds cringy, but it happens. I can hear music on a freaking high level. Okay, no, that sounds like I'm not pointing it. I just can. I'm gonna tell it how it is. That's how I hear music. I love it. Which brings us on to dancing. Now this one's definitely a lifelong obsession, which also brings us to Michael Jackson. Now, this might be the famous obsession of mine because it's on YouTube right now on Got to Dance, and it's the highest viewed video of that whole series, 20 million views. That's mad. But yeah, I used to be obsessed with Michael Jackson. I went to a show, a Thriller Live, that's what it's called, and I fell in love from there. And I came home and I was moonwalking, and next thing you know, Diversity gave me a call after Got to Dance, and I'm on stage in front of 50,000 people on a tribute for Michael Jackson. Oh, wait, no, there we go. I'm meeting the Jacksons, his brothers, and then I get to meet his mum. I've met Michael Jackson's mum. I've given her a hug, and his children. I didn't give them a hug. I didn't really know who they were because I was overwhelmed. I had an overload in that moment. My recent obsession, trains. I don't know about you, but it is pretty cliche that as I'm autistic, I should like trains. And you are correct. I never thought I would. This happened all in lockdown. I've got an obsession with small trains. I'm trying to dumb this down because I could easily go into nerdy talk about 7-inch gauge, 5-inch gauge, Tinkerbells, and shunters. Won't do that because you'll click off this video. But yeah, I got into trains and I wanted to build a train track that went round my garden and through my garden, and it was going to be like a Disney ride because there'd be like a mini village that was tiny and it had little people, and then there'd be a giant city, and we started to clear stuff out and get stuff ready. We even built a lake as a small pond just for this. Then we realized how expensive it was, and I sadly had to let that dream go, but I haven't quite let it go because recently, or not recently, I built a piece of the train track I wanted to build, and it's just sat outside. I'm sure I'll show it to you in a next video or in a future video, but I had to build a piece of train track. I'm still obsessed with trains. If anyone wants to donate a lot of money for my train obsession, please do. Maybe it's like the motion of it and the sound, I don't know. But I really want a train track in my garden. I'm still gonna make that happen eventually. I'm hoping there'll be a video in the future where I'm like, guys, I did it. But until then, there's a tiny piece of train track that's like this long. You can't see it. Shot obsessions. So we're moving on to shot obsessions. So I haven't got any named because they're shot obsessions. Where basically I'll see something on YouTube or I'll see this and that, and I'll be obsessed with it for like the next hour, and I'll research everything about it. I'll run downstairs to mum and I'll be like, Mum, I've got this blah blah blah, and she'll be like, here we go again, because that happens. I have these shot obsessions, and they can last a few days, and they can last a few minutes. They can even be a few seconds where I realize I can't do that because it's either financially impossible or just weird, just plain weird. But you know what, I'm okay with being weird. But yeah, shot obsessions are just quick, high-leveled obsessions. They come at you at full blast just as much as the trains do, and I have to block that. I don't know why, but I can't let all of them in, so they get blocked and they become shot obsessions. And that's happened a lot. It happens a lot, and I've got better at figuring out, oh, I'm having an obsession, it'll be over soon. It also makes me really sad because I'll be obsessed with something that feels so right. In my mind, I'm like, I know this won't last. I know I'll wake up tomorrow and be completely not wanting to do this. So it's kind of like I love it, I hate it, but you know, it is what it is. Right, we're on one last obsession that I used to have, and it's with stage pyrotechnics. The pyro guys on tour, they used to like help me. They used to let me wire the pyros. They tell me all about the pyros, and then one day they got me a vest saying pyro crew. I don't know where it is right now, but if I do find it, I'll show you. It's tiny now. And I was so thankful, and yeah. And then basically what I'd do after every show, well, mostly every show anyway, is I'd take the dead pyros, because they chuck them in the bin. I'd go to the bin and I'd reach down and I'd pick out a dead pyro, and I liked sniffing the pyro. As I'm wording this out, this is just interesting. I liked setting them up in a line and pretending they were going to go off and imagining they were going to go off. Bear with me. I know you're still struggling on there. I got a call from our bus driver, or I didn't get a call, my mum did, from our bus driver, Robert. He'd gone another trip. He was doing a bus trip for someone else, and he had a SWAT team come onto his bus and SWAT the bus with guns, and it's because the dogs had smelt explosives. Can you see where this is going? And then they found a pyrotechnic, pretty sure it was where my seat was. The dogs had smelt the pyro from that. And then, you know, he had to explain to them that I'd left that on there. And I kind of felt bad because I'd got poor Robert had probably had a heart attack because of the explosives on the bus. There were no explosives on the bus because they were dead pyros. But I'd left the pyros on the bus. And the funny part of that is that I'd lost a pyro when I got home. And I really liked this pyrotechnic. And I'm pretty sure the one I'd lost was the one that got Robert's bus swatted. So, yeah, I kind of feel bad about that. That's my obsessions. I hope you learned something about obsessions for autistic people. Coming from my side of the story, this isn't for anyone else. This is just purely me, because I can't speak for other people. But I'm just going off of what I've experienced. So yeah, so please subscribe. I encourage you to. Yes, I think you should. And also hit the like, because I like to know that you've liked. I like to like. And then hit that bell, because where my Instagram still isn't working, you don't know when I'm gonna upload, so you need to be notified when I'm gonna upload. So yeah, I'm a go. We do this every week, but it's, you know, it's what it is. Okay, bye.